Level 1. The Bulge. You are Master Sergeant Roderick W. Edmonds. You are 25 years old. You are from Knoxville, Tennessee. 3 days ago, you were a non-commissioned officer in the 422nd Infantry Regiment of the 106th Infantry Division of the United States Army. And now you are about to put your hands above your head for the first and last time in your life. The date is December 19th, 1944. The Schnee-Eifel Forest, eastern Belgium. Your division has been on the line 11 days. The Ardennes was supposed to be quiet. That was the entire reason the 106 was put there. They were green. They needed a soft sector. 2 days ago, 2,000 German artillery pieces opened fire on an 80-mile front at 5:30 in the morning, and the soft sector turned into the largest American surrender in the European theater. The 422nd is encircled. The radios are dead. Your battalion ran out of ammunition 12 hours ago. The men around you are 19, 20, 21. You are 5 years older than most of them, and you are the senior NCO of your unit. The German voice on the loudspeaker is offering surrender terms in English, and the alternative the loudspeaker is describing is being shelled in place. You look at your captain. Your captain looks at the ground. You raise your hands. More than 6,000 Americans surrender in the Schnee-Eifel pocket in the next 4 hours. It will be remembered as the largest mass surrender of American forces in Europe of the entire war. You do not feel like you have made history. You feel like you have made a choice that you cannot unmake. The German soldier who walks up to you is a private of the Volksgrenadier divisions. He takes your rifle, he takes your watch, he takes your wallet. He takes the photograph of your father. He keeps the watch and the wallet. He hands the photograph back. You do not know why. You tell yourself it is temporary. The Bulge is a German bluff. Patton will be through in a week. You will be home for the new year. It is December 19th, 1944. You will not see Knoxville again for 101 days. Level 2. Christmas at Bad Orb. You walk for 4 days. The weather is 12 below zero. The 106th Infantry Division shipped to Belgium without proper winter gear. You are wearing a field jacket rated for autumn. The men who fall on the road are shot in place if they cannot rise within the count the guards give them. On Christmas Day, 1944, the gates of Stalag IX-B at Bad Orb close behind you. Stalag IX-B is built for 4,000 men. At this moment, it contains over 25,000. The barracks are unheated, the roof leaks. There are 600 men in a building meant for 250. Your bunk is a bare wooden plank. There is no blanket. The man on the plank above you is named Lester Tanner. He is from Brooklyn. He is 22 years old. He is a private in your regiment. He is Jewish, though that fact will not matter to anyone for 33 more days. You and Lester sleep 8 inches apart, and you have known each other 3 months, and you do not know each other's middle names. The Germans serve you a piece of black bread the size of a deck of cards. The bread is part sawdust. They serve a thin soup made from boiled turnip greens. The total daily ration is approximately 800 calories. A grown man performing labor in the cold needs 3,500. You learn the math by what your body is doing. Your body is consuming itself. You tell yourself the Red Cross has your name. Someone knows you are here. Your mother is being told. You learn later that no Red Cross parcels reached Stalag IX-B in the entire winter of 1944 to 1945. The lists are in a filing cabinet in Geneva. The trucks stopped running in November. Your mother knows nothing. Level 3. The transfer. January 26th, 1945. The Germans separate the non-commissioned officers from the enlisted men. There is no explanation. You and Lester Tanner and 1,273 other men are marched out of Stalag IX-B before dawn into a column of trucks and driven 60 miles north to Stalag IX-A at Ziegenhain. The trucks have no canvas. The temperature is 15 below. When you climb down at the gates of Stalag X-A, you are the senior American non-commissioned officer present. There is no commissioned officer with the column. By the rules of the Geneva Convention, by the rules of the United States Army, by the rules every man here grew up with, the men of this transport are now your responsibility. 1,275 men. You count them at the gate because you are required to. You will count them again at the morning roll call. You do not know yet that you will count them one more time, 12 hours from now, with a German pistol pressed to your forehead. The commandant of Stalag IX-A is Major Karl Siegmann of the Wehrmacht. He stands on a wooden platform inside the wire and watches the new men file in. His face does not move when he speaks. He instructs you, through an interpreter, that all American Jewish soldiers will report separately to the commandant's office at morning roll call. He tells you to make the lists. You tell yourself the Germans are following the convention. The convention says prisoners may not be segregated by religion. The convention says prisoners may not be selected for special handling. The convention is on a piece of paper in Geneva, and what is in front of you is Major Siegmann. You go back to the barracks. You tell the men what the commandant has ordered. Lester Tanner is sitting on the floor. He looks up when he hears the word. He does not say anything. He does not need to. There are at least 200 Jewish American soldiers in this transport. The work camps in eastern Germany, the camps the Germans call Arbeitslager, the camps where Jewish soldiers are being sent in the winter of 1944 to 1945, you do not know what is happening in those camps. You know enough. You give the order at 1 in the morning. At morning roll call, every American man in this camp will fall in. Every man. The Jewish men, the Christian men, the men who do not pray. Every man will stand together in the snow and answer the count as one body. You give the order. The men obey it. You go back to your bunk. You do not sleep. Level 4. The morning, January 27th, 1945. 5:30 in the morning. The temperature is 18 below. The sky is the color of old iron. The roll call yard at Stalag IX-A is a rectangle of frozen mud the size of a football field. The wire is on 3 sides. The watchtowers are on the corners. The platform where the commandant stands is on the north end. You stand at the front of the formation, at attention, in a field jacket that has not been warm enough since November. Behind you, in 8 ranks, stand 1,274 other Americans. Lester Tanner is in the 2nd rank. You do not turn to look at him. Major Siegmann walks out onto the platform at 0600 hours. He sees what is in front of him. He sees that you have not made the lists. He sees that the Jewish men are not separated from the Christian men. He sees 1,275 men standing in formation in a snowstorm without distinction. He walks down the platform steps. He walks across the frozen yard. He stops in front of you. He says, "Where are the Jews?" You say, "We are all Jews here." You speak in English. You speak slowly. You say it once. You do not say it again. Siegmann draws a Walther service pistol from a holster at his hip. He chambers around. He places the muzzle of the pistol against the center of your forehead. The barrel is cold. You can feel it through your skin and through your skull. He says, "Identify the Jews, Sergeant, or I will shoot you." You tell yourself he will not actually do it. Not in front of 1,274 witnesses. Not at 0600 hours on a Saturday morning. Not in a war that the Germans are losing. You hear yourself answer him. You hear yourself say what your mouth is saying, as if from a long distance. You say, "Under the Geneva Convention, we are required to give our name, our rank, and our serial number. That is all. If you shoot me, you will have to shoot every man on this yard. And when this war is over, you will be tried as a war criminal, and you will hang for it." The pistol does not move. Neither do you. Behind you, the formation does not move. Lester Tanner does not move. 1,274 men stand at attention in 18 below cold and wait to see whether their senior NCO is about to have his brains blown out in front of them. Major Siegmann holds the pistol against your forehead for what your watch, if you still had a watch, would have measured as approximately 9 seconds. Then he lowers the pistol. He turns. He walks back to the platform. He dismisses the formation. You do not move until you hear the men behind you exhale. Level 5. The march that does not happen. By March 1945, the front is closing. The Soviets are in eastern Germany. The Americans are across the Rhine. Major Siegmann receives orders from Berlin to evacuate Stalag IX-A, to march the prisoners east, away from the Allied advance, the way the Germans are marching prisoners out of every camp in the Reich. He gives you the order to assemble the men. You tell him no. You tell him the men are too weak to march. You tell him the temperature is too low. You tell him that an evacuation column of 1,275 starving men in a Wehrmacht-controlled forced march will not arrive anywhere alive, and that he has already had one conversation with you about what happens to a German officer who hands the Allies a war crime in writing. You tell yourself he will march them in the morning anyway. He does not. The order from Berlin is not enforced. The German guards begin to disappear over the next 4 days. They are deserting. They are walking west to surrender to the Americans rather than face the Soviets. On March 30th, 1945, the lead element of the U.S., 6th Armored Division, 3rd Army, reaches the gate of Stalag IX. The men in your transport are the same men you counted at the gate 63 days earlier. The Jewish American soldiers among them are the same Jewish American soldiers. None of them have been separated. None of them have been moved. None of them are missing. You are liberated. You weigh 130 pounds. You weighed 175 when you shipped out of Camp Atterbury, Indiana, in October 1944. Level 6. Home. You go back to Knoxville, Tennessee. You marry a woman named Mary Ann. You have a son. His name is Chris. You work in sales for 40 years. You go to a Baptist church on Sundays. You do the things a man does in Knoxville, Tennessee, after a war. You do not tell anyone what happened in the snow at Stalag IX on January 27th, 1945. You do not tell your wife. You do not tell your son. You do not tell the men at the church. You do not write a memoir. You do not give a speech. You do not file the testimony. In the war, you kept a diary. The diary is small. The cover is brown leather. It fits in a uniform pocket. After you come home, you put the diary in a footlocker in the attic of your house in Knoxville, and you do not open it again. The entry for January 27, 1945, contains exactly 5 words. It says, "God was with us." That is all. No description, no names, no count, no pistol. You tell yourself the story does not need to be told. You know what you did. The men who were there know what you did. That is enough. You die on August 8, 1985, of congestive heart failure. You are 65 years old. The local paper in Knoxville prints a small obituary. Salesman. Veteran. Husband. Father. The obituary does not say anything about Stalag IA. The obituary does not say anything about January 27, 1945. There is nothing in the obituary that would allow anyone reading it to know. Level 7. The diary. In 2008, your son Chris is helping his mother clean the attic of the house in Knoxville. He finds a footlocker. He opens it. Inside is a small brown leather diary that fits in a uniform pocket. He brings it down to the kitchen. He reads it. The entries are short. Most of them are weather and rations. Some of them are dates and place names. On January 27th, 1945, the entry says, "God was with us." He puts the diary on a shelf. He does not know what it means. 3 years later, your granddaughter is in college. She is studying for a course on 20th century American history. She asks her father if her grandfather had any wartime papers. Chris remembers the diary. He gives it to her. She reads the diary the way her father did. She reads the entry for January 27th, 1945. She does an internet search for Stalag IX-A and the date. She finds an archive of an old New York Times article. The article quotes a Brooklyn lawyer named Lester Tanner. She is 19 years old. She picks up the phone. Lester Tanner is 88 years old. He is still in Brooklyn. He has been telling the story of January 27th, 1945, for 66 years. He has told it at synagogues. He has told it to anyone who would listen. He has told it because your grandfather never told it to anyone, and somebody had to. He tells your granddaughter what your grandfather did at 0600 hours on January 27th, 1945. He tells her about the order from the commandant. He tells her about the formation. He tells her about the pistol against her grandfather's forehead. He tells her what her grandfather said. He tells her how long the pistol stayed there. Your granddaughter writes it up. The piece reaches the state of Israel. In 2015, Yad Vashem posthumously names Master Sergeant Roderick W. Edmonds righteous among the nations, the highest honor the State of Israel grants to non-Jews who risked their lives to save Jews during the Holocaust. He is the first American serviceman ever to receive it. He remains the only one. On March 2, 2026, the President of the United States posthumously awards Master Sergeant Roderick W. Edmonds the Medal of Honor in the East Room of the White House. The medal is placed in the hands of his son, Chris. The diary stays where the family keeps it now. The entry for January 27, 1945, has not changed. It still says, "God was with us. Your granddaughter finds the diary in 2011. She is 19 years old, and she has a school project. Nobody told her what the date meant. Nobody knew.